I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the land on which this podcast is recorded today. Also pay respects to the elders past and present, and extend that respect to any other Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people who may be listening today. This is Melanated in Melbourne, a podcast designed to give an insightful look into the Australian lifestyle from the lens of two Black American besties. Welcome back to Melanated in Melbourne. My name is Ri'chard, and Nicole is actually on her way, but for now, we've got our special guest, Jose, to help me out with the intro.
Hey, girls, it's Jose. I'm live, baby. I made it to the show.
We are so glad to have you here, Jose. This actually is our season finale episode, so what better way to wrap up the season than with one of the best ghetto bitches I know?
Girl, don't be getting me hyped this quick, okay? But I am very honored before we continue going on in this podcast. I'm very honored to be here, and I'm actually extremely proud of you and Nicole. But I did want to share with everybody that when we first met, one of the times that we first linked up, you took me back to your house and we started practicing on this little podcast stuff.
We did.
My God. We
yes.
did. And I witnessed this manifestation become a reality. So I'm very proud of you. A big old kiss to you in the world, baby, but I'm very proud of you and Nicole.
And honestly, that's been one of the things that we've been so excited about, because coming from humble beginnings, because the first episode we recorded, we talked about how we wanted to do this last year, but I got COVID, Nicole got COVID, she went overseas, I went overseas, and then life happened. Life got so busy, and we wanted this to be a thing, but it just was not working. And at a certain point, we were like, no, we have to do it. And now this is our 13th episode. We've had a full season, countless guests, so many more reactions and things than we expected. But one of the things that we're just really excited for is the future. But before we get into that, because I don't want to go too far and not let Nicole have her input,
right?
What have you been up to? Have you done anything fun this crazy week?
This week, what have I done that's fun and crazy? Let me think. Let me ponder.
Well, if you want to ponder, I've been running nonstop this whole day because there was supposed to be a really big meteor shower yesterday.
Yes.
So I went two of my friends out to, I want to call it regional Victoria, but honestly, it was just
a little bit outside of Melbourne.
It was just an hour outside of Melbourne. And if it's outside the city, we may as well be in the boondocks, because it was so dark. My friend had his high beams on flashing because we thought kangaroo were going to pop out and kill us. Because as we mentioned last week on the podcast, kangaroo are pests. They're everywhere. They're just jumping across the street. They're basically like deer. They're honestly
Australians
like deer.
Are afraid to drive at night. Like, they really do not do it if they don't have to.
I
Because these kangaroos are serious.
And they will fuck your car up.
They will fuck.
It's like hitting an actual deer. You need to get special insurance for sometimes if you hit a kangaroo out and about. And I'm not playing around with it. We tried it. It didn't work, but it was actually a great little kiki with me and my friends. And then we came back here, and I was booking it. I got here, went back to work, had a meeting, took half day to record the last episode because I wanted to have as much time as possible, of course, to give our baby the love she deserved. And then I ran from there, swallowed some sushi. I actually almost died. I almost died.
How did you almost die, girl?
Because
at this time of day.
So I was supposed to have like a home cooked meal because I had leftovers from yesterday. But I just got 2 sushi hand rolls, and I'm just trying to inhale these things. And this little avocado assaulted me. This piece of avocado just like,
girl,
Yep.
What do you mean it assaulted you?
I almost died. Like, I texted you that I was eating my sushi. I said, let me hurry up because I got to get going. I swallowed because I'm not really chewing it because I got to go. And I'm like, And I'm like, I'm literally sitting here like, not this.
Girl,
not now.
Not before the episode. That's why you're still coughing up. That avocado's trying to come back.
I'm tired.
She got something to say.
But what did you get into?
Well, actually, you sent me into some pondering. Okay. Actually, a really cool thing that I did get to do this week is I found some good Mexican food in Melbourne, which is a shocker.
You better stop.
And it's a bold statement to say.
It is.
La Tortilleria, okay, that's the name, which means the tortilla maker, for those who don't know. Girl, delicious.
Where is she?
She's in Kensington. She's good. If y'all know about chilaquiles, girl, I had some chilaquiles. I had some tacos de birria. I had some tacos al pastor. And, baby, I was munching, okay? And my stomach wasn't ready for none of this. It had been a minute since I had some spice.
Stop.
So best believe. Best believe, okay. That was an experience in itself. It had been a minute since my stomach felt that way.
It's worth it, though.
It was worth it. Hella worth it.
Pretty hurts and, like, delicious.
And I was given, like, a whole class on the food that I was presenting to my friend. I was like, this is this. We're going to eat this first. Hold up. You better put some lime on there before you eat that. But like I said, it did some damage afterwards.
Listen, it was worth it.
It was worth it.
Especially if it's good. There's nothing worse than having stomach issues and the food was bad. Like, I didn't enjoy it on the way in, and I'm going to not enjoy it on the way out. Like, what was the point?
That's it right there, girl.
I could have just sat there and had water. Like, I didn't need this.
Yes. And I believe that the owner is from Mexico City.
There. That's because I think on our food episode, we actually talked about this a few times. If it's not authentic, if people are not in there making it themselves, what's the point? Like,
exactly.
If you're trying to get fried chicken and there's nobody black in there, it's going to be somebody reading off a recipe. It's not made with love. It's not a family recipe. There's no heart in it. And you can taste it. You can honestly taste the heartness.
The love has to be authentic.
I'm very excited to hear that. I'm going to write that shit down. Actually, when I listen back, I'm going to be like, and yes. One thing that I thought was really funny as far as a culture shock goes is the amount of Australians who just want to talk to you. Like, we talked about this before, but today I'm actually really annoyed with my Uber driver because it was an overnight stay for the stargazing. And we got back in the car, and I just had my bags, and I got a package delivered to my friend's house, so I had it. And I said to my friend in passing, I was like, hey, I'm so excited to listen to this record. And the Uber driver just like, oh, what do you guys do? I'm like, what do we do? Like, I think he assumed that we were in the music industry because I said I'm so excited to listen to this record. And I was like, oh, well, no, this is just, I just bought this. I didn't, And he's like, oh, well, what do you guys just want to have a little chit chat? And I am not the one. I love that people want to have that conversation with people, but I'm not the one to talk to in Uber. One, we were up to like 2 a.m. trying to watch the stars.
True.
It was 8 a.m. at this point. I'm trying to get to work. I have like 5 hours of sleep. I'm not a morning person.
Right.
Like, don't.
Me either, girl.
Dude,
I work morning shifts at work, and they're like, Jose, are you mad at me? I'm mad at the world right now.
Honestly, though, like, it's like, if you come like, hello, like, that was my impression of Nicole, honestly. And it's like, please don't. No. And I'm not a coffee drinker, so it's just like, I just need to wake up.
That's a problem. I'm surprised you haven't been consumed by the coffee culture here.
No, like,
you're strong.
I am. I'm so proud of myself, honestly.
Yeah.
And like, I'll have one socially, but otherwise I'm like, no, I just want to get home. And he would not stop talking to us. This man told us his life story. It was like a 15-minute drive. He told us his life story. And at one point he was messing around the car like he'd never been in it before in his life, pressed a button and called the police.
Hooray. Hi, everybody. What are we talking about?
So how people are just so interested in getting to know us out here.
Oh my God, we're so popular.
And also, essentially, I was talking about that I got an Uber back from the stargazing trip, and essentially we got in the car, and I told my friend, I'm so excited to listen to this record, and the guy's like, oh, well, what do you do? And I looked down at the record, he looked at me, and I looked at the record, and I was like, oh, no, I'm not in the music industry.
Maybe he thought you were L.A. Reid. Maybe he thought you were a rapper. Maybe he thought that you were a producer.
Please stop trying to.
Remember that guy at the gas station who's like, "Oh my God, you must be famous." He said that to you.
I do remember.
You got a famous aura, baby.
I mean, literally.
You're not in the music industry, but you're in the industry. Look at us here.
I mean, look at us
here. You're
in
front of a speaker right now.
You are right.
A microphone.
A microphone.
I will give him that, but this man just continued to force a conversation, and I'm on 5 hours of sleep. On 5 hours of sleep, and I'm just not having it. So essentially, he was just fiddling around in his own car, and at one point, he just presses a button in the ceiling, and it calls the police. Yes.
Wow.
And it's like connecting to emergency services, and they turn around and like, "Is that you guys?" I'm like, "Bitch, this is your car."
Yeah,
this is
like,
literally
for real.
This is your car. And
this man was clueless.
Because I'm half asleep. I checked my phone. Like, did I somehow hijack his speakers and call the police?
He needs to go to bed and try again. Okay, he's up too early.
He was a senior citizen. I'm not gonna lie. Like he was. I could see he had a hearing aid in, and he was trying his best. I got a soft spot
for the seniors.
And like, because he was funny, but it was just like, I'm on 5 hours of sleep. Don't do this to me. We don't need to be friends.
Yeah,
we can just go from point A to point B. And he's like, oh yeah, what are you guys gonna do for Christmas and this and this? And I'm like,
call the police.
Honestly. And he called them and they answered and he didn't hang up. They were like, hello, emergency services, are you guys safe? And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I pressed the button and I did these things, and what does this button do? So we had a full conversation
not
with
the
emergency
not the customer service line.
Yes. And she was being so nice to him about it. She was like, oh no, it's okay, this button's for if you're passing an accident, we can track your location.
You know what, he needed to learn that information.
It was a rental car. He didn't need it.
Oh, not in the rental car.
Not in the rental car.
Which he told us against our will afterwards. And he's like, oh yeah,
you didn't want him to speak at all.
I did not want any conversation.
If you had that little
the toggle button, just to be like, I choose not to talk right now.
Please.
Oh my god.
But when people think that means no music, I'm like, no, not full flight. Just don't talk to me. Don't talk to me, but I would love that. And he's like, hey guys, I'm so sorry I pressed the button. I was at the airport and driving and someone took my door off the handle and then Uber gave me this new car and it's really cool and I like it. Do you like my car?
Oh my gosh.
And it's like, yeah.
Don't speak.
I don't want to know what you're saying.
I don't want to know what you're saying. I don't want to know how your day is. Don't tell me, cuz I don't want to know.
Don't tell me because it hurts to hear you.
Some of these Uber drivers be tripping though.
They try so hard.
I live in the city, right, in South Bank. And the other day I got a ride and I was going to South Yarra, right, which is just a little bit down the street. He done went all the way to Victoria Market to do a U-turn. And I was in there boiling because I was trying to get there on time.
Victoria Market.
Victoria Market,
That's
girl.
too damn far.
He done took me through a whole stroll through the city, and I was like,
Not the tour.
I was ooh-sighing in the car. I was like,
was it leisurely
and
though?
he was still trying to have this whole conversation about
You just wanted to keep
everything.
in the car, Jose. You're just too pretty.
But I chose peace.
I chose peace.
I love that for you.
I will continue a conversation with you. I will inside, woosah, you know.
I started giving him so little. I was giving him like less and less, and there's like every syllable was like, yeah.
Ri'chard, you really.
I wasn't that bad. I wasn't. I mean,
we know you, girl. Lied to somebody else.
listen. I was nice at the start. I was tired. I wanted to get home. I literally went straight from a meeting. I hopped in the shower. Had a meeting, had another meeting, ran to this podcast, almost choked on sushi. You'll have to hear about that later. And now we're here.
Sushi, the food?
Sushi.
I didn't know if it was somebody's nickname. I was just double checking.
You would have known about this sushi if you had read your calendar. 'Cause I even checked. I'm like, did I not send Nicole this calendar
No, you
invite
did.
that said 1 p.m.?
You did.
And I was like, ooh. And that's like, let me just call, like, just in case, because we're about to record this episode.
Listen, I'm lucky I have pants on right now. Like, that's
Girl,
how
we
all
happy
over.
you made it.
That's how all over the place I have been this week.
It's been a busy ass week. But the fact that one of my first test recordings was with Jose a year ago, and how this full circle and being here in the season finale.
It was cute. It is a beautiful full circle.
That's a great full circle moment.
It was.
Oh, that's so good. No, I'm just happy that we got you here because I was like,
Girl, I know. I did have to move some mountains to be here because my job be playing with me.
ooh,
You know?
they
be
tried
playing
it.
with me. They tried it.
This is very
when you sent me
important.
those emojis, I was so mad at you.
I know, girl. I felt the energy. One thing about you, you're not gonna lie to me. And I was like telling my friend, I was like, he's mad at me.
He's mad at me.
He even put the punctuation, like the period and everything. I was like,
what was the response?
I was like, don't worry about it, BB. Period. We'll reschedule you for next season. Period.
Oh, the periods was.
And I'm out here at work hustling.
And it's like, and then he sends, I move mountains literally, and send me the hand emoji and a mountain. I was so
Yes.
Because I did.
Because you knew.
Because I did.
Oh my goodness.
I knew my baby boy would be mad. But here I am. I made it.
I'm so glad you made it.
We're so happy to have you.
I'm so happy to be here.
But for our season finale, it's going to be a bit of a hodgepodge of things, but the most...
I love saying hodgepodge too. I've used that.
It's a fun word. Like,
It is such a fun word.
I love like this little old time
The
word.
smorgasbord, the hodgepodge.
Absolutely love all of it. But the main topic was one getting to know you better as a person who is also melanated in Melbourne with us.
Period.
But we also want to talk about the wildlife because we do get a lot of those questions like, isn't everything trying to kill you? Because everyone everywhere will see those videos. Stop giving the spoilers away, bitch.
Oh, the answer is yes.
If you want to stop listening now, the answer is yes.
I didn't even say it.
But that's actually one of the main questions we got because we put out a little survey like, hey, what kind of questions do you
Everybody
want?
always wants to know. Some people like refuse to come to Australia because they're like, oh my gosh, everything in Australia wants to kill you.
Yeah, it is like.
I mean,
it is. I mean, yes, Jose did. You're correct. It is.
It feels
true.
like there may be a little bit of a debate.
Oh no, I'm not disagreeing.
I mean, we might have a little debate, but I've seen some things.
Oh no, no one's disagreeing with you. No one's.
can't wait to
And
hear
the
it.
reason that we want you here is because the things you've seen have been outside the city. Like it's been.
That's the thing.
outreach,
In the
like,
city, you're completely safe,
very much.
Yes.
so. And that's the thing.
except
like,
with the birds.
Except with the birds.
And yeah, we have had the magpie
The
conversation.
magpie convo, the Oreo crows.
Listen, girl.
Listen, they the
There's
mafia.
no debate no more because in
They-
San Antonio, I was not worried about no bird.
No, never. I never seen a pigeon roll up on somebody.
That's what I'm saying.
Those Canadian geese, they got nasty ass attitudes, but that's as bad as the birds
That's
get back
it.
home.
That's it.
But here, the magpies, they will bully you. They'll bully the other birds. They will kill other
There's
birds, leave their
signs.
bodies in the sidewalk, and be like, "This is the message to all of you."
You know,
Don't fuck with the magpies.
There is signs that say beware swooping, and you gotta like look up while you're walking. That is terrifying. And I'm in the city.
About swooping season, 1,000%. Yeah.
Have you ever been swooped on, Jose?
I haven't.
You have
thankfully.
not?
Mm-mm.
I have
Ri'chard, is yours?
I've never.
No.
I've never been swooped on either. So
Listen, but I remember that you guys shared with me that I was coming on the show about this a couple weeks ago. And literally the following week, my friend left my house in South Bank and got swooped outside in South Bank.
Oh.
not
I've been
outside.
South Bay, girl.
Not
We barely got
outside.
any trees
Also,
there.
in this season, because the swooping season is usually spring, now we're officially in summer, despite the fact that the weather.
She's doing her own thing.
She doesn't know when she wants
She's
to be doing it.
freestyling right now.
But on the calendar and by their cycles, because they're protective of their babies, and that's why they're swooping. It's not spring anymore, so they shouldn't be swooping. So that's even worse.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Second of all, I ain't never seen no baby magpie. I haven't seen a baby magpie at all.
Me either.
'Cause
I
Maybe
don't
they're
even
doing a
see
good
their
job. They're
babies.
doing a good job of
They
keeping
stay
us
in the
away from them
trees.
babies.
They're
They're the Beyonce of birds. You don't get to see my children until they're ready.
do not bring my girl into this.
We have to mention her every episode. We talked about it. Like, without trying, Beyonce's mentioned, I think, every episode.
Of course she is.
But not in the same.
The Beyonce
Well, then
of
again, the
birds.
Beehive do be protecting Beyonce like that.
And
They do
swoop.
be.
For real.
So, am I wrong? Like, you weren't ready for that discussion, but was I wrong?
Oh
That's
my gosh. But yeah, in the city, the only thing you got to worry about is magpies.
That's it.
But at the same time, spiders. That's always a big question.
Listen, I haven't seen no spider in the city, but when I
Okay.
was in Cairns, I saw. Well, I don't know if we're getting into Cairns yet.
No, I want you to do your intro first.
Oh, buenos dias.
Buenos
tardes.
dias.
Hello, mundo. My name is Jose. I was born in Southern California on a beautiful sunny afternoon. The birds were chirping.
Yep.
The birds were
Now
chirping.
go on.
No magpies.
I'm not going to stop you.
They were chirping, baby. And I was
Yes.
born in Southern California in a tiny town named Corona, California, which is not really tiny, but compared to the
Compared
other
to
big
the other
cities, yes. Corona, California. Then life took me to San Antonio, Texas, the most ghetto place in
I
Texas.
love it.
But ghetto-licious, baby. It's fabulous. It's beautiful. All my friends are there. San Antonio reconnected in this room because I got 210 in front of me. And
Yep.
210 would love to know that I got 210 in front of me.
Oh,
right now.
1,000%.
1,000%. Lived in San Antonio, got a major travel bug and traveled the world. And I ended up in Australia on a vacation, really. I went to Bali. I don't know if you guys want me to get into my Australian
Yeah.
landing.
Yeah. Give it to us.
But I had been traveling before I got to Bali through Latin America, went from Costa Rica all the way down to Argentina, hit almost every country on the way, got this beautiful cultural experience.
Oh, gorgeous.
Gorgeous, it was. And I came back to San Antonio and I realized, actually, I'm not done traveling. So I last minute decided to go to Indonesia. I went to Bali. And for a lot of people here in Australia, they look at Bali like Cancun.
Yes, agreed.
Oh, 1,000%.
Like,
Agreed.
oh my God,
That's
it's just a
exactly-
party place. It's whatever.
Yeah.
No, girl. I traveled the whole world to get here. It took me 60 hours to get to Bali. This is no
Yes.
Cancun.
Yep.
Yes.
And I got there and I had the most beautiful spiritual experience.
yeah, it's a very spiritual place.
It is a beautiful place.
It's a very spiritual place.
Very
yes.
spiritual. And the people are just like
Hospitable.
so hospitable, but it's a
Wow.
beautiful energy. In my travels, I hadn't experienced that kind of love. And anyways, I was there. I stayed at a hostel for my first time. I mingled with a lot of people. And I met people who were coming to Australia to do the working holiday visa. And I was like, just taking all this information from everybody. And one day I was bored in this villa that I was staying in. And I was like, you know what? Let me apply for the working holiday visa. The worst they could say is no. If they
Yeah.
say no, I was going to go back
That's
to the
right.
U.S. anyways.
Yep.
Yes.
I applied and in 5 minutes I got approved.
5 minutes.
5 minutes,
bitch.
girl. I went into an existential crisis because I didn't think I was going to get approved.
Yep.
And then I'm over here like calling my mama, my little cute Mexican mama. Got to tell her in Spanish, Mama, I'm moving to Australia.
Oh
Like,
my
well, I was just going to travel
Yep.
first because I was
Yeah,
like, yeah, I'll
yeah.
get the visa, but I'll see what's up. Got to Sydney. Sydney was okay. The Opera House is beautiful.
The buttons are broken.
Oh no.
I would have told you, but
I want the want button.
Wah,
No,
wah,
they're all
Yeah.
broken.
Wah, wah, wah.
Listen, Sydney has its beauty though. And the Opera House was very special to me because I was like, wow, I never would have thought I would have made it to like the Opera House, such a place so far away. Anyways, when I was in Bali, I met these Melburnians. Shout out to Pip and Libby at a bar.
That's the cutest name.
Yes, they are so cute. I was at a reggae bar and I was just like going like this on the bar top, right? Vibing out to the music by myself, mind you. And Libby comes up to me and starts like matching my energy. Yes,
Yeah.
girl, you match my energy. We about to be best friends.
Oh,
Anyways,
Yeah.
Was she on beat?
she was on beat, girl.
Oh,
she was on beat.
come
They're
on,
on
Libby.
beat.
They would not be friends if she
Come
was off
on,
beat.
Libby.
If
They
she
got
was
some
off beat, she's like,
sazon
oh my
to
God,
them.
that's so great to
Okay,
you, and then
Libby.
leaves.
They do. And so we started talking, and I told her that I just got approved for the working holiday visa, and she was the one who was like, you should come to Melbourne. Well, because I was telling her, like, I don't know if I'm choosing Sydney or Melbourne, because Sydney is like the representative city of Australia.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Especially from
face.
like outside.
It's the face.
It's the face. And she was like, well, if I can, how do you identify? And I was like, oh, what a powerful question to ask me while I'm here having a drink at the reggae bar at the time. And I was like, oh, I identify as queer. And she's like, Melbourne, game over. Don't even think about Sydney.
Period.
Come to Melbourne.
Yes.
Period.
And period, girl, because trust, they gave me the best year of my life here, along with everybody I met.
No, that's okay. I'm cool.
No, but I'm saying, I'm saying like it led to everybody that I met. It was like a beautiful, powerful thing. And so, yeah, I left Sydney. I was like, oh, Sydney's okay. And I came to Melbourne. And I remember driving in on the Sky bus, and I already knew. I was like, this is my kind of city. This skyline, gorgeous.
Yes.
You feel it in the air. And
It's
like,
a good one.
There are some people we've had on the show that you get here, you don't know anyone, you're not connected to anything, but you just feel it. And it's like, absolutely, fully agree.
And then I remember I was walking around. I was kind of a little conflicted because I was like, at first, it kind of does look like an American city, like just any other American city, right?
It really feels that way.
It really does. And I was like, if I'm going to be this far away, I might as well just go home where my family's at, where my people are at, you know, like, because it took me some time to like build a community. And I feel like that's the most important thing for me is the community. So at
100%.
first I was kind of like, I don't know. But everything's like a motherfucking movie for me. I start walking around the city and I hear this car blasting some Latino trap music, Bad Bunny, and I was like, okay, hold on.
Bad Bunny.
My people
Shout
are
out to
here.
Bad Bunny.
Shout out to Bad Bunny. But shout out just to like reggaeton. Because when I heard the reggaeton bumping in the cars, I was like, oh, hold on. Maybe I'm not as far as I thought I was.
Yep.
Anyways.
Como reggaeton.
Girl. Don't get me started in here. Anyways, that's how I ended up here. I ended up working at a hostel, which I still work at. And it's allowed me to create these amazing experiences where I learn about everybody's culture, which is what I really wanted to do on my travels.
Yeah.
So like, the world kind of perfectly placed me where I needed to be.
Oh, I fully agree
And
with
that's
that.
The universe will provide.
We love that. I mean, you call yourself Jose, but I refer to you as Megan Knees.
Girl.
Yes. Oh, you thought I wasn't gonna do it to you?
You're going to do it to me.
Oh, I'm absolutely gonna do
Listen,
it to you.
I be thinking about the first time we met, and you and Mike had a lot of ghetto things to say about me because I remember I got on stage. One thing about me when I first got here, I was real strong on, I don't know none of these people. They don't know me. I could do whatever I want to do.
Correct.
So
Oh, I know.
trust. I was on that stage spinning around on those poles.
Oh, I remember. And I was there for the start, the middle, and the finish because, well, actually, I think you were there as well. Nicole, you were there for Jose's first meeting.
You were there. Yes, you were. You were. And you were like, I'm from New Jersey. And I was like, New Jersey, girl, what's up?
Either Feud was there.
Was Vida there too? She was.
Yeah.
Was this at Rainbow House?
It was at Redacted House, yes.
Redacted
House,
It was
because
at
we don't
Redacted
fuck with her no
House.
more.
We don't.
Well, yeah, she's changed her name and she's still problematic, so we're
Correct,
it's still there.
exactly.
But it was
Like
there.
we came in there and Jose was like, "Oh yeah, I'm Jose," and he was like a little nervous. He was like going to get tequila shots. I remember that was the first impression I had. Of you,
I got
like,
tequila shots and
tequila shots.
margaritas,
Is
and
it-
they don't do that here.
No,
'Cause
they really don't.
They served me a margarita in this fancy ass cocktail glass, and I was on the dance floor, and I was like,
I can't hold
I
this.
can't hold this. The way these naked knees are about to activate.
So we were dancing around at Redacted House for a couple hours, and then we went out to Poof Doof, and we got there because I think you went home by this point.
did go-
And we were hanging out with like the upstairs room, and it's Jose, me, and Mike, and we're dancing, and all of a sudden I can't see Jose, and I look down, and he's just getting it. Megan is just like down there, just living down there, and I'm like, girl, the way my body is set up.
I saw you up there. I was giving you a little shot. I was like, hey, baby girl, watch this. I saw you up there.
And we were like, yep, Megan needs. She's doing it.
That's me.
And it's actually been over a year since that all happened. So
It
like,
has been.
Now that you're actually one of the people on the show that has been here the shortest amount of time. So we've had people who are like native Australians.
Right.
We've had expats who have been here for 3-4 years. But you have been here about a year. Like, how would you rate your experience in that 1 year?
Beautiful. If you are listening to this anywhere in the world and you have an adventurous spirit, baby, Australia is the place to be. And I have told people that it's honestly kind of like a secret club. If you get here and you find out about it, you will understand.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And if you don't want to find out about it, watch a YouTube video and enjoy it from outside.
Yep.
But if you get here, the East Coast is full of people who are just traveling throughout all of Australia, enriching themselves and the culture, picking up as much info as they can from here, taking it back to their country, or staying here. I always laugh because even when I met you, I think of this one experience which I will never let go of.
Yeah.
But you know what? America did brainwash me a little bit. It's
Yeah.
not, no, okay.
No. It's fair.
No, it's fully
We can wake
fair.
it
Yes. But I think in my experience being first generation American, my mom was just very grateful for what we were able to get from the U.S. And so I always saw it as a gratitude thing, as a perspective of my life changed because my parents immigrated here, right?
Of course.
And so when I left to Australia, I still had that gratitude with me. And I've always been critical of the U.S., right?
Yeah.
Fair.
That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
But
As you should be.
But when I got here, I was still like, no, the U.S., like, there's good things about it. And I believe in separating the government and the people, right?
In the ideal.
Yeah.
And the
Because
ideal
I always tell people the fun that is in America, the American people,
people.
they shake ass like nowhere else in the world.
It's a
And we have a good
party.
time everywhere. And we really are a community because we have a lot of amazing communities that don't exist outside of the U.S. It's a fact.
Correct.
So I still came with that info here. But I remember me and Ri'chard went to go have a little drink.
Yep.
And I was going on and on. Maybe I went on a little too much.
Yep.
The way this girl's eyes rolled back, he was looking at the back of his brain. I literally could still see that image in my head right now. And sometimes when I feel myself talking too much about the U.S., your image literally appears.
Yep. No, I mean, it was fair, though, because like you were saying, and I didn't want to push you too hard because I did remember where that mindset came from, where it was just like, yes, you're very grateful to have been in America. But I'm like, I basically told him straight up, like, you've been brainwashed, girl. Like, honestly, America is good. And as for separating the people from the government, you can do that. But you also can't in the grand scheme of things. So it's just like, I was trying to tell him that Australia is the place to be like, yes, it's not as culture diverse as we would like it to be, but we bring the culture everywhere we go. Like we create the culture ourselves, and culture is just history, tradition that we make.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's like, if you make yourself comfortable here, like I was trying to like get that to Jose, and Jose's like, no.
Well, because I hadn't decided that I was going to live in Australia yet. I was still just enjoying the vacation.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, girl, my country's cool, you know. But I was really thinking about my people. Like I'm not like screeching bald eagle out of my mouth with waving my American flag.
American flag out your ass. No. And like I knew that, and I was never worried that Jose was like, ooh, this girl's a patriot. I gotta go. Like it was never that, but it was like,
where were you January 6th?
Girl, do not. I was at home horrified.
And you thought it was just gonna be me coming for you.
I know, damn, Nicole. I gotta be careful with you too.
It was a quick survey.
I just want to know.
I was just where were
The
you?
listeners are curious.
Oh my gosh. But I think that's fair. That's a progression that I think a lot of Americans have gone through because of what we were indoctrinated with when we were like younger, and the songs we would sing, and the history, the washed, very cleansed history we would learn. It wasn't
Native
very
Americans
nuanced.
traded meals with us because they were so happy to be invited here.
Yeah. But the older you get, like the curtain is raised and it's the Wizard of Oz. You think it's this great, powerful thing, but then you peek behind the curtain and you're just like, wait a minute.
I know.
It's a reality star in a torn up t-shirt and a fake Gucci belt.
It's exactly what it is.
Things.
It's just such a complicated country.
It's
and I think when I got here, I also had this high level of gratitude. I left the U.S. because the last job that I had allowed me to save money. And the last job that I did was refugee reunification, paid for by the government.
Oh my goodness.
And so I saw what the government was willing to do for refugees and asylum seekers.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And I was literally flying across the country, reunifying children literally from 6 years old to 17 years old with their family members in New York, in Miami. And they were so happy to see their family once again. And this was like from people all over the world. But because I speak Spanish, I was focused on Latin America. And so I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm witnessing this. I kind of felt like I was giving my piece back because my mom would tell me about when she first came to the US, and McDonald's was a big shiny thing to her in Disneyland. And I could see that same sparkle in these kids' eyes. So I was like, fuck, like a lot of people don't know this side, the good things that exist. And it's because our country is so complicated and so divisive that they don't want the American people to know how much they help certain immigrants or certain asylum seekers, because then it could cause a debate politically and this, that, and the other. So looping back around to when I came here and I was all on this high of like, no, like there's good in the country. I just think I'm a pretty optimistic person. I like to see the good.
And you never kill that. And I didn't want to kill that. Even with the
you didn't, even though your eyes were rolling, you were still listening to me.
Yeah. And I was like, I know you just need to be heard, and I know you're going to have different experiences that will probably change things for you.
Right.
But I'm not like, that's stupid, this is wrong. It's like, that's not my place to say.
Right.
Everyone's experiences were going to be different. The way I grew up was not going to be the same way you grew up, the same way Nicole grew up.
Right.
It was just going to be an experience for you to be here, living somewhere else, and just finding your own place. Because I can't tell you, this is your place and this is what you're going to do. I can be around for questions and answers, but that's why I was really excited to see your journey going from, I'm going to be here for 3 months, goes home for a bit and comes right back. I'm like, actually,
let me tell you, because since I work at the hostel, I also feel like I still work in immigration because I'm a lot of people's first impression of Australia. And I'm like, girl, you need to get your TFN, you need to get this, go with this, bang, blah, 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 giving them the rundown, right? Yeah. But I hear a lot of these people who have been here a couple of weeks and they're like, nah, I don't like it. I'm going to go back. Girl, the way I roll my eyes. I don't roll my I want to pat them on the back like, yeah, baby, I was there too. Okay, go ahead and travel and then come back to me in a couple months and see if you still want to go back, because it's just such a special energy in Australia.
It is.
And I don't know, especially along the East Coast or the backpacker community, which I feel like for a lot of immigrants, I'm not going to say it's everybody's, but it's kind of like a backpacker like start in Australia. Like they're going to look for their place across Australia, which is really cool because from my perspective of immigration on the US, people pick a city and stay there because you have to work hard and survive.
Yeah,
and so you don't have the freedom to just roam around because these jobs aren't paying good. You have to get that little bit of coin and stay put wherever you are. And here, people are telling me like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be in Melbourne, but then next week I'm going to go to Perth, and then the following week I'm going to go to Cairns. Those are big distances to be traveling to.
Huge like the whole country.
Yeah, it's like, what? For comparison in the U.S., that's like saying I'm moving from Miami to L.A. to New York. That is crazy to be doing within a couple months.
Within a couple of months. Within the same year.
That's baffling.
Nuts.
And here, it's just such a common thing. And the people you meet tell you about all these hundreds of countries that they've been to, and it's just so normalized, which I like to come back and remind people that it's a beautiful thing that we've been able to normalize such a great experience, but it's not a normal experience. We should be extremely grateful that we got to visit these countries and got to live these experiences. And so I feel like in my year and a half of being here, I've really reflected on how lucky we are to be here.
Come on, baby. Absolutely. If I had a tambourine, I'd shake it right now because you are preaching.
Literally that.
Preaching.
And that's actually really exciting because I knew that this was going to be kind of where your mindset was. And like, I thought it would be a really good episode in. It is like the whole gratitude is heavy. Gratitude is heavy. Like
it's heavy.
My experience of being here, I was only able to get out of America because of very specific circumstances that worked for me. We know that we've been wanting people to come and visit and live here and do whatever, but it's not going to be feasible for everyone.
No.
Yes.
And we don't want people to be like, oh, I'm not as good because I couldn't get out. Or like,
and it's not that.
And it's not that. But it's like, if you can, like if the circumstances line up for you, absolutely take that leap.
I know.
1,000,000%, because I don't regret a single thing.
I don't either. And I really wish for my people back home that they find this freedom that I found here. Because maybe it's not Australia, maybe it's another place for them.
Yeah.
But being able to find your place is a beautiful thing. Agreed. And I feel like sometimes I sit down and I'm like, oh my God, Melbourne is my place. And to say that with my chest is crazy.
Yes.
But I will also say that Melbourne is a super queer safe city. Like queer blossoming exists here.
Yes.
And it is so beautiful to experience. Because even at the hostel, I see people like progress in their experience here, like in their queer experience. And I was even talking with this Colombian man one day, and he was like opening up about his queer experience, which he would probably share too. It was a beautiful thing that we were sharing with the hostel. And I was like, look, baby, you are in a safe country now. We don't have to hide behind this facade. Here you could be masculinity and especially in Latin America, it's suffocating.
It is.
And so I was like, baby, here you could be whoever you want to be, okay? Beautiful. Wear that nail polish, wear those colors, do whatever you want to do. Wear a dress.
Wear whatever you want. And not have to worry about
you were still yourself, like whether you
correct.
And I felt like we were like liberating Latin America in doing so. Because we learn all this stuff and then we share it with our people back home.
Yep.
And even our conversations evolve. When I call my people back home, it's not the same kind of conversations I was having when I was there.
Yes.
Because now I feel like also in Melbourne, they take mental health very serious.
Absolutely.
And I love that, though. I've learned how to identify certain things. And so now I'm able to share this knowledge with my people back home. Like, oh, maybe you should sit and think about this. Or I know how to use these words better.
Yeah.
And Melbourne allowed me that. So I'm like, oh, my God, I love this city.
Yeah.
Oh,
I do.
The personal growth has been so real. And also watching your personal growth has been amazing to see. So
I'm happy you've been here the whole time, baby girl.
I'm happy as well.
We've had quite the experiences here.
We literally have. And
We
that's
have.
something we're really excited about, especially giving your backpacker experience was really great for the podcast. We've not really had many people talking about their backpacker experience because other than me, I don't think any of our guests have ever done like the backpacker experience here.
Yeah,
Because
I
like
don't
Rock
think so.
came to study, Drew came to study, Kelly came for work, and like, a lot of our guests came for other reasons. Actually, Jordan did work in Holiday.
That's right.
But one of the things I also want to talk to you about, because you did the farm work as well, because Jordan went to WA, but you went to Cairns.
Well, because they have changed the legislation behind that. And now you don't have to only do farm work. There's this imaginary line across Australia, which I think is actually the Tropic of Capricorn, maybe.
Yep.
Wow.
And if you work above that line, you can work in hospitality or farm work. If you work below that line, you have to work in farm work. Because, truth be told, the cool cities are in the south part of Australia, and everybody wants to be in
And
the
they
big
know
cities.
that. Yep.
Period.
But Cairns is a big popular backpacker destinations because amongst the little cities, it's the best of the little cities.
Yes.
And it has its vibe. When I was there, I had a whole roller coaster of emotions because it was crazy. I had this beautiful community in Melbourne that I really loved. And then I kind of felt like I broke up with Melbourne because I was forced to go do my 88 days because otherwise I would have to leave the country.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, USA, I'll do yoga on the beach. I'll enjoy the palm trees. Girl, there was not enough yoga or palm trees for me to be happy. There wasn't. I tried really hard. I really did. Girl, I had my singing bowl. I was like trying to connect with whatever I needed to connect with. Didn't work. But it's a beautiful place. And although it didn't work for me, I met a lot of people who said this was their place in the world, Cairns. And which was wow, because it was like, that's what I love to see, just people say that, right? Because I would meet people from big cities like New York, Paris, or a bunch of big cities. Yeah. And they said, this is my place in the world. And I think it's a lot of people like the opposite of what they've experienced. Yes. So coming from a big city to being able to enjoy the palm trees and the sounds of the waves, it's beautiful. And I was like, oh, wow. And I feel like San Antonio, although for U.S. standards or, I don't know, just global standards, it's a big city because there's millions of people there. But it feels like just a big suburb city, just full of suburbs.
Yes.
I never felt like here, people in the streets, they be putting fits together. They be rocking the fits. They be walking CBD like a runway.
Yep.
Yes.
Girl, in San Antonio, it's too damn hot. If there's no AC, I'm not going. Okay, and that's truth. Because you walk out of your house in 2 minutes, you're already covered in sweat. Because that humidity is not to be played with.
Texas heat.
Girl.
Melbourne was trying to play like that this weekend.
It was.
I'm like, this feels too familiar, and I wasn't happy about it. I'm like,
it wasn't.
It feels like home, and I meant that as an insult.
I know. But I was actually laughing because it did get pretty hot, and I think it was like 28 degrees, 30 degrees. Look at me with my Celsius, girl. Year and a half. I'm talking Celsius.
Yep.
Anyways, San Antonio, girl, it was always 40 degrees outside, 40 plus.
Melting.
Yeah,
Melting.
that's so hot.
And I was over here like
allergies.
28, the audacity. Girl, you done lived 20 plus years in the heat. Shut up. Yeah.
You got used to it. You got acclimatized to this. So
I did, and I love it. But yeah, so I don't know. The adventurous spirit exists in Australia. And from what I experienced in the U.S., it exists to an extent, but not to the level of Australia. Like working holiday visa has been a serious thing here for a long time. The backpacker community is probably really thought of in the legislation that they put here. There's no such thing in the U.S. They're not thinking about no backpacker over there.
No.
And I'm like, baby girl, if you're trying to travel and you're trying to explore that adventurous spirit, come here.
Come on through.
Find out about this secret cool club because it's cool. Even when I was in San Antonio, I was flexing my little Victorian driver's license.
Yeah.
Girl, once those drinks got to me, I was like, I'm Australian. I'm not Australian. But the license says otherwise.
Yeah.
And I remember there was this one bouncer, and he started laughing. He's like, bro, Australia? He's like, one of my homies always says that Australia is a conspiracy theory. There's nobody down there. And I was like, look, girl, I don't know. I just got off a flight from Melbourne, so it seems pretty real to me. But
it's real.
Don't find out about it, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Let it be a gem.
You don't want to come through. That's fine.
If you're afraid, just say that.
Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Just stay here in good old San Antonio. But I do miss my little Mexican sweets.
Hell yeah.
You know, our food is one of the things I miss the most.
Hell yeah.
Although I did mention to Ri'chard that I found a good Mexican authentic restaurant.
Stop! Don't do this. We will leave right now. I will
girl, we will
shut
go.
my mic. I will shut my mic off right now and walk out the door.
We can't do this again because we don't have the time. It's on the episode.
Okay. Anyways, I found good food.
God.
I miss my sweets. Yes.
But we gotta go.
But we got
Yes.
All the details are on the. We're going.
We're going.
We moving.
But that's one of the things, especially when you mention the backpack community. I think it's a really tight knit community. Even if you move away, there are people that I met who are from all around the world. If I hit them up today, oh, I'm in Belgium tomorrow. My couch is open. Like
that's so beautiful.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's just. Those connections you make are for life. For people who are scared to do things by themselves.
Yeah.
I moved here by myself. You moved here by yourself. Yeah. The people that you meet, especially in hostels, people are just willing to be friendly and welcoming.
They become your family. A word that I have incorporated is chosen family. I never used to say that in the U.S. I literally have chosen family. I'm worried about my people out here like I'm worried about my family over there. Oh. And I'm like,
very much that.
It is so cool that exists, though, because when I was a kid, I used to dream to have like a international friend group.
Oh, yes.
I did. Yes. And now I always bring up this story because I always used to tell my mom, I don't know if you guys ever saw Don Francisco. He was like this big TV host for it was in Spanish, right? He's from Chile. And I used to tell my mom, like, girl, do you know anybody from Chile? I've never met anybody from Chile. And she was like, no, never. Girl, not me moving to Australia. All my friends are from Chile. I got like 15 plus Chilean friends. Yes. And one of them, his dad's name is Francisco. So I called my mom. I was like, not only do I know Francisco, but I know 15 plus Chileans. And it was just so cool to learn also about how diverse the Latin American community is, right? Because of course we know that, but to experience it firsthand is awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, just going back to the community you make around the world and how sometimes you meet up in the same places without planning it. So many people who are in Cairns meet up with their friends in Melbourne without even planning it. Like people move all over this country and just bump into each other.
Yes.
Like I was telling you, I went to Poof Toof. You saw me, girl.
I was probably there.
No, but you saw me at summer camp. Yes. I rolled up in my pajamas. I don't know if you really put any thought to it, but it was cold. I was gonna come comfy.
We were on a pier.
Mm-hmm. We were on a pier in front of the ocean. Exactly. And what I came to do is shake some ass, and I'm gonna shake ass comfortably. Yep. So correct. I came in my little pajamas. There I was, whatever. The night took me to Poof Toof, and there I was in Poof Toof, shaking ass, living my best life with me in the disco ball, like, yes. And I see my friend from Cairns just roll up. I didn't even have a plan of seeing him. And Cairns is far again, like for reference to the U.S. Mm-hmm. I'm in Miami, and somebody from New York just bumped into me at the club in Miami, okay?
Looking for hoochie daddies.
Mm-hmm, looking for the hoochie daddies, baby.
Mm-hmm. I wish I was daddy, all the way live.
Don't ski on this show. Ri'chard. I hate you. Oh my God.
Oh, that's funny.
Yes, so that's just the world will have you bump into travelers
all over the place.
It's really cool though.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. And although we're geographically really far away, we're really connected to a lot of places in the world.
Absolutely.
1000% fully agreed on that. But on that aspect, because earlier you did say that the animals are out to kill you. We know it's not in the cities, but what tried to kill you in Cairns?
Okay.
Let's get into it.
Let me just explain that if you come to Australia, don't be scared of the spiders, of the sharks, of this, that, and the other, because when I talk to Australians about some of the perspectives from outside of Australia, because before I came here, I didn't really plan on coming to Australia, right? The cards just placed me here, as I explained.
Same.
But when I was in the U.S. and I would think of Australia, I would think of sharks, I would think of spiders, and I would think of everything scary, and that if I was there, it was going to come for me.
Yeah.
Listen, now that I'm here, I've seen some of it, but it hasn't come for me. So I guess they're not trying to kill you. But when I was in Cairns, I was also working at the hostel. And the cool thing about working at that hostel was we also sold tours, which allowed me to get all the tours for free. So I was bored and I could go to the Great Barrier Reef and drink champagne on this like catamaran, feeling like the richest girl in the world, but I wasn't. But I was rich in experiences.
Yes.
Anyways, I remember I was closing up the shutters outside of the hostel. Girl, I had never seen a spider that big. Literally. Everybody who is listening to this, put your hand up in the sky and look at your palm, look at your wings spread apart. It was that big.
Yes.
And I said, this hostel is staying open tonight because I will not close these damn shutters, not on my watch. Thankfully, I saw this girl walk by who was a guest, and she was like this very brave, bold girl. Very brave, bold girl, right? And she had been like talking about all this crazy stuff she had been doing. And I was like, perfect. You are going to be the brave, bold girl to come close this, because I was having an episode in front of the spider. And I was like, please. Yeah. And I was like, how brave are you, girl? I was like, you think you could close this shutter here? And she did. And she was screaming the whole time, but she did. And I wasn't going to close it. Okay.
She's better than me. I would have burned the whole hostel down.
Listen, I was about to just.
I'm so sorry. No, if you're big enough to fight me one-on-one, I got to play dirty.
No, I screamed the first fight. It was a huntsman, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. It was a huntsman.
And I think
spider.
they're not like venomous.
They actually don't want anything to do with you.
They can't break the skin or something like that. Like they can't actually hurt us. I haven't read about it. Yeah. It's still terrifying.
It's still terrifying, but they actually want nothing to do.
They don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, they're scary though.
But they're scary as hell. No, they're big as hell.
You might die from a heart attack just looking at them because they're terrifying.
Correct. It's like looking at a Rottweiler with a gun. You're just like, how does this big ass dog get in here? And why is it armed? Like it's like that.
That's it. That's actually that's it.
How is he holding the gun? How is he holding the gun?
That's exactly the question you'd be asking. You're like, how is this dog holding the gun? Like you're asking so many questions.
Teeth, like, it turns sideways. It's a kill shot. It's a kill shot.
Oh my God.
But yeah, actually, I guess they're not here to hurt you. They're just scary if you encounter them. Because when I was in the Great Barrier Reef one day snorkeling, it was actually beautiful because have you done the Great Barrier Reef?
Have not done the Great Barrier Reef, but I'm doing it.
Yeah, when you do it, I would always try to persuade everybody, if you're down with it, if it doesn't scare you, to scuba dive because it's just such a incredible experience. No, you're not down with it?
Nicole's face, everyone. She was just like.
I know, she's like,
it does sound like an awesome experience. It's definitely like I watch scuba diving videos and everything like that, but I am so afraid of like the open ocean. It is just like I don't even know how I'm gonna get on the boat.
Yeah, because you have to be pretty calm, like kind of like.
I could only snorkel because they wanted you to do classes or something. I'm like,
well, no,
certification.
But the Great Barrier Reef is actually one of the only places where you could get. It's not certified, but it's like you're able to do it, almost like a certification.
Yeah.
In the ocean, they teach you there on the day that you go scuba diving. That's what I did.
Yeah, so what did you see?
So I was down there. Gorgeous. The coral reef, beautiful. I always tell everybody, if I could have screamed underwater, I would have from the excitement, right? Because it's just gorgeous. So colorful. You see all these beautiful, colorful fish. Anyways, I saw like turtles swimming up to me.
Oh,
like a couple of turtles.
Sea
turtles. Gorgeous. And then I turned around. And there was this shark over there. And I was like, and I was with my homegirl, Amelie. Shout out to Amelie from Germany. We were down there. We locked eyes. I said, okay, I saw the shark. Now swim away. We're not gonna follow. We're not gonna follow this shark like we were following the turtle. And it was scary to look at, but it's also the Australian wildlife can be scary, but it's also very unique and beautiful.
Yes, right. Especially because we're not used to seeing that.
Totally.
We're not used to seeing that.
And I think there's propaganda out there against sharks. I actually don't think sharks are that bad.
Yeah, they're not that bad.
There's a lot that are very much just also minding their business, like the spiders we're talking about. They're just minding their business. When I went, I am a terrible swimmer. So for those of you who are weaker in swimming and or terrified, you can also go snorkeling. And they'll just take you like shallower parts where you can still see. I almost drowned because I saw a reef shark because I panicked and because like you're snorkeling and you're kind of thing. But when I wasn't drowning, lots of turtles, lots of sharks, and they were just like they were all just vibing. They were literally just like, "Oh, what's up? See ya." And they had all these rules like you can't wear certain sunscreen because it'll like
ruin the coral.
You have to do like they're very protective of it, which is great because I do remember there was like time was like it was on the endangered list of being a thing that was going to go away.
Right.
Yeah.
Like has that changed at all? Because I have not really kept up.
As far as sharks?
No, the reef like is endangerment. Has it because they said they were going to regrow, but I know there's a lot of bleaching happening with the reef.
Let me think. To be honest, I'm not sure, so I don't want to lie, but I think it's doing pretty okay.
Yeah.
And what I actually love that I learned from Cairns is a lot of people in Cairns believe in regenerative tourism, which is where you go travel and you kind of help the community out that you're traveling to, which is a beautiful thing. I love that. And so a lot of people go to the Great Barrier Reef to help the Great Barrier Reef, or they travel to Cairns to help.
Yeah.
And so they go like mapping the coral reef with their like snorkel gear or their scuba gear, or they help turtles rehabilitate and things like that.
Yes.
And I witnessed so much of that. So also for the people listening, if you ever wanted to be a marine biologist, this is the place to be.
Come through.
Because my sister, when we were growing up, she was always like, oh, I want to be a marine biologist. And as she grew older, she kind of made it seem like that was just like a little kid dream. But I try to remind her still on the phone, girl, if you still believe in being a marine biologist,
you could do it
this
today.
is the country to do it in. Because in Cairns, everybody there is helping the environment.
Oh, that's
it's
so
cool.
beautiful.
It's actually
Love
really
that.
cool. But yeah, more about the animals.
Do you see any jellyfish? Because I
did.
know the
Okay.
jellyfish are really scary.
That's
like the
what
box jellyfish, the babies are the size of your pinky, and then one sting from them can paralyze you. And
They're the size of your pinky nail.
Pinky nail.
So you can't even see it. So if you
Yes.
get stung, you're going to feel it, and you need to be flown to the hospital. That's how serious it is.
Yes.
And it's like stinger season, and I actually saw jellyfish while I was there, but you can't really see the dangerous ones. Pinky nail's way too small to see.
Yeah.
But there's these other different ones, and I just saw one of the other different ones. Girl, the way I started flapping underwater, I was like, oh no.
Get away.
Yeah, I was like terrified, but it wasn't one of the dangerous ones. But yeah, if you do get stung by the dangerous one in stinger season, and you're still wearing a stinger suit, but the only things that's not covered is your face and your feet.
Yeah.
If you get stung there, yeah, you gotta fly to you have to fly to the hospital ASAP because you might die,
Correct.
which is scary. And then there's also sharks, which is kind of scary for people who are afraid of the ocean.
Yes.
Jellyfish, sharks. That's already too much. You're asking too much.
No,
You're asking too much.
That's me. I've already been asked too much. I'm like, this snorkeling, this depth, that's
Yeah.
me. That's where I'm done. My toes in the water. Everyone saw me get in the water.
Yeah.
We're done. Wrap it up.
But what I
wrap it
do
up?
like to tell people, although it may sound scary, I think it's cool because it's the animal saying, girl, you're on my land. Okay,
Yeah,
do not
exactly.
fuck
You're
with
in my
me.
neighborhood.
You're in my hood. Okay, this is
Over
my
here.
beach. This is not your beach. Because actually,
Yes.
beaches in Cairns, crazy as it sounds, they have motherfucking crocodiles. Why?
Oh, yeah.
Crocodiles and jellyfish. There's big old signs.
Crocodile Dundee came from somewhere.
Yes, for
True.
sure.
And like, I would see tourists who didn't know, like, because maybe they didn't speak the language that was on the little billboards there. And I literally was like, bye, girl. I hope you had a good life, because why are you in that ocean with the crocodiles?
Yeah, that's crazy
You see-
that they would be salty crocodiles.
Salty croc.
So you've seen them.
I didn't see them because I respected the ocean.
Yeah, that's
Listen.
the one Australian animal that I will just like.
I'm
the
not about it,
crocodiles,
'cause
I
they're
will want
fast.
no smoke.
Like they're doing all this shit. I'm like, I'm good.
I don't want
Yeah.
nothing, because even if you get bitten by one and you happen to get away, they have so much bacteria in their teeth that your bite will like 99.9% sure get infected.
Right.
Cut it.
Cut
Cut
it.
it. Cut
You
it.
need to cut it.
Amputation.
Yeah, but
is what we're
moving
implying.
but moving the party onto land. Thank you so much for that information about the ocean. Yeah, crocodiles, don't fuck with them. But have you come across a lot of kangaroos? Because that is like the mascot of Australia.
It is.
Everybody always asks about them. Like, you moved to Australia? Do you ride kangaroos to work?
Girl, be for real.
Yeah.
I actually have, and it actually was a special moment for me because I had been here like a year and a half, and I hadn't witnessed a kangaroo yet. I witnessed a wallaby.
Oh,
Right?
wallaby, yeah.
Yeah, which are like little baby kangaroos.
Yes,
but it's
they're
not a
smaller
kangaroo.
size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like cousins.
They're like cousins. And so it had been a year and a half, and I still hadn't seen the Australian mascot out in the wild. And so it wasn't until, honestly, like a month and a half ago that I went to Grampians.
Oh, the Grampians. Oh, I'm dying to go there. It
Beautiful.
looks so gorgeous.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And even the whole train ride over there, gorgeous. I felt like real poetic, like with my little book. I was trying to be mysterious on the train ride, hoping somebody come up to me and
So
start this
mysterious.
beautiful love story.
Everyone's secretly in love with me, and like you're just like,
Just me in the Australian landscape. Anyways, I made it out there. Hundreds of kangaroos. It is so
gosh.
beautiful. They were just hopping around. They were even boxing each other. Like I got the whole show.
yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh. And it was like, Grampians was like Jurassic Park. I don't know if y'all been to the Grampians.
No, I've always wanted to go there.
Girl.
I'm not a nature girl. Like if my friends
I
are going, I'll
know.
join, but I'm not
I'm
gonna
just-
go there
You did
by
tell me that.
myself.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
you
I'm,
as well?
Yeah, no. I'm a nature person, but I do have my limits for sure.
Right.
Like camping is my limit, but I will go.
But
I will go see it. I'll go visit. I'll go say hi. I'll look at like old trees and all like the foliage and stuff. I live for it.
Yes.
Sleeping there, no.
But there's like glamping, you know, you could get you a nice little cottage, like nice and cute.
Okay, I can glamp.
I will glamp.
I can glamp.
Well, you only be outside for how long? There's a timer.
For sure. But you were in the Grampians, and that's when you saw your first kangaroo.
That's when I saw my first kangaroo. And it was so cute. And honestly, even like the landscape there, like I said, it's like Jurassic Park, like big mountains and stuff. And there was like, honestly, maybe thousands of cockatoos flying around.
Yes, the
and
cockatoos.
so it just sounded so loud, but it sounded
screech.
so cool. And I was like, damn. Not the cockatoos and the kangaroos at the same time.
Yes, come on.
So yeah, it was pretty cool. It feels the same as like when I saw the opera house. It was beautiful. And I was like, oh my God, I made it to Australia. Yes. And when I saw the kangaroo, I felt the same way.
Correct. Same. Every time I see a kangaroo, I'm like, oh wow, I'm really here.
Okay, yeah. But it was honestly super beautiful.
Yeah.
It was. But yeah, I don't know. Pretty cool, all these things.
So obviously you've made it out to Kansas. Have you been to the Red Center? Have you been anywhere else in Australia?
Haven't. It's next on my list of things I want to do. But I am very aware of how culturally important the Red Center is, at Uluru and all of this stuff. So when I travel there, I want to go with somebody who matches that kind of energy that I'm trying to bring. Very educational and reflecting.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for that perfect moment to happen because that's the type of energy that I want to go there with. But I haven't gone. And I want to go there. And I mean, Australia is just so beautiful in every little corner. You know?
Yes.
It seems like a lot of, especially from outside, it seems like it's just like kind of the same. Maybe some people think like, oh, it's all desert. No, girl.
No, there's
Margaret River, I haven't been there, but it sounds cool. Rottnest Island, those goddamn little quokkas smiling at you.
Those quokkas. Yeah.
They're so cute.
They're so cute.
That is so cute. So there is a bunch of stuff I want to see, but we'll see. Everything at its time. Now I'm just focused on how I can stay here.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
It's part of the experience because I feel like it's also very reflecting because now I kind of think about even the immigrants back home in the U.S. and how they're always kind of like, it's the truth, like tossing them around with policy. Like every administration has a different vision for immigration.
Yes.
That's shit. That's so disrespectful to people's mental health and envisioning their future. Here, the legislation is pretty consistent, I feel like. And the pathway to PR is pretty clear. And I kind of like that because I'm like, okay, I got to put some energy into really being able to stay here. Because if I want to stay here, I feel like it's achievable. Yeah. And I feel like in the U.S., they make you jump all these hoops and loops
the
and
money
everything
that you don't have and
And now that's where my energy is focusing on because when I first got here, I feel like I wanted to try and do everything. I was like, that's why I was so crazy. That's why these mega knees were so activated. These mega knees need some WD-40, baby, okay? They
Can't
do.
drop it like it's hot. Gotta leave it like it's warm.
That's it. Because honestly, even at summer camp, I was stretching. In middle of everybody, I was like,
you need to be stretching. No,
Love a stretch.
I have gotten into stretching this year because I hurt my back earlier in the year, and I'm like, nah, I'm not old. I just gotta get it going. But is there anything that you want to squeeze in?
No, because I don't want us to feel super rushed about things. So Jose, I think you were the perfect guest to have because you really brought the true feeling and the essence of what it's like being here in Melbourne and how Sydney is the face, but Melbourne is the heart.
The culture capital.
It is the heart. It is the personality of Australia. And it's deeply important that we express that. So I think it was so perfect that you were here.
I'm super honored to be here. I was telling Ri'chard earlier, like he was mentioning to you, how proud I am of seeing this manifestation become a reality for the both of you. Because this is a powerful thing. And as I was thinking about it throughout the weeks, right, leading up to this, I was like, I was nervous when I got here. I felt like I was like coming out on a Hollywood podcast.
Oh my God.
But listen, I corrected myself because I was like, Hollywood, who the fuck gives a fuck about Hollywood? This is a podcast in Melbourne, Australia. You asked me 4 years ago, do you think you'd like if somebody was to do you think you would be on a podcast in Australia in 4 years? What the fuck? What? Why would I be in Australia? But here I am sitting across from 210 saying ski. And it's like, what is going on? What is going on?
Yeah.
So I'm so happy and so proud of you guys. And I hope this continues tremendous success for you guys. I wish that for you guys.
Thank you.
Because you guys are a powerful voice. And I feel like we find our voice being here and we're sharing with the world what we're learning. And that's exactly what you guys are doing. So spreading knowledge is powerful. And I'm very, 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 very proud of you guys. And I'm sure everybody who's listening to this is just as proud of you guys. So soak that in and enjoy that, because you guys did a very powerful, you put a lot of energy into this. I see you clicking around, looking all expert with all this. I'm like, damn, baby boy. Yes. So again, I'm very honored to be here, and I'm very proud of you guys.
We are very honored to have you. And again, as we were talking about through the entire series, we never expected this to be what it was. It was just going to be a fun little thing we were doing with our friends. But when we realized what we had, we knew we couldn't just stop. And that's why this is our season finale. We're going to take a couple months of break and just kind of refresh and decide what we want this to be for the people. Because as we said before, this was never what we wanted, but this is what we need now. We're already here. We're going to do the best we can with however long people keep listening to us.
Right.
Correct.
They're going to keep listening, baby.
Yeah. Oh, and I appreciate that.
Y'all got a lot to say. You got a lot to say, baby.
We have so
much to say. Like
a lot to say, so many opinions. And it's just so wonderful how something that was a thought in our minds is actually out in the world now.
A reality.
And people like it.
They're resonating. Strangers are resonating with it. Like we help someone apply for the working holiday visa. A stranger messaged our account to do their working holiday visa, and this is what we wanted. Like, I guess it's bigger than what we wanted. This is beyond any dream I had. I can't want to speak for Nicole,
it's so humbling. It's just so humbling. Yeah, I can't believe how many people we've reached, and just being able to talk about the beauty that is Australia and that is Melbourne, and then there's like a life out there bigger than what you could imagine for yourself.
Yeah.
Like you may not even see it, but it's there.
It is. And
there.
I was reflecting on all of this, right? Because you see these people on their podcasts or their talk shows, and they're like, dreams really come true. And you think it's like for them to say, baby, we're living our dream right here. Okay, these are our dreams and realities right here.
For real.
And it's a powerful thing. And I'm like, yes, let's keep doing this, baby.
Exactly.
Everybody reach your dreams. It's possible. And again, Australia is just a beautiful, special place.
It's a beautiful, special place.
Because of the community that is here too.
Yes.
The mindset that travels to a place like Melbourne, specifically shout out to Melbourne, the mindset here is a beautiful one.
Yes.
So shout out.
It's the heart.
Sydney is fun. It's okay to be in Sydney.
It's okay. Enjoy it. If that's your place.
It's okay to be in Sydney. It's okay to be Southside. It's okay to be white.
Yes.
Yeah. All of it is
okay. But there are better things. I had to get one last shady thing for no reason at all.
I mean, the shade will continue next season for sure.
1,000%.
And Jose, I would love to have you back for sure when I'm not running so late, and have a little bit longer to talk to you as well.
Yes. Baby, I'm Latino.
Yes.
It's the way we roll. I was like, that ain't nothing to me. That ain't nothing to me, girl.
We'll just start, and then we'll pick it up in the end. But I think that's a wonderful place for us to end. So happy holidays, everyone. Have a great New Year's. And until 2024, I'm Ri'chard.
I'm Nicole.
And this has been Melanated in Melbourne.
Melanated in Melbourne. This has been Melanated in Melbourne, a podcast that analyzes the Australian lifestyle from the lens of two Black American besties. Follow us at Melanated in Melbourne on Instagram and TikTok. If you have any comments or questions you'd like to ask us, then email us at melanatedinmelbourne@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.